Good morning, students. In today's class, we are going to see the evolutionary computational technique. Under this, we are going to see genetic algorithm, particle swarm optimization, and ant colony optimization. First, we will see what is meant by a evolutionary computational technique. So, evolutionary computational technique is one of the most powerful technique, and it is a principle of evaluation like survival of the fitness, constitute an interesting category of heuristic search. So, evolutionary computational technique or stochastic algorithm whose search method model must have some natural phenomena, that is genetic inheritance and drawing strive for survival. The best known algorithm in this class will include the genetic algorithm, particle swarm optimization, ant colony optimization, evolutionary programming, evolutionary strategies, and genetic. So there are many hybrid systems which incorporate this particular feature, and it will incorporate the paradigm that has been involved in this evolutionary method. When you consider this evolutionary computational technique, the algorithm whatever it is written will have an intelligent technique, and it will be the global optimization inspired by the biological evolution. For example, if you consider a dragonfly algorithm for a maximum power tracking, then the dragonfly, in the sense honeybee algorithm, you can take honeybee algorithm. Wherever the flower is having the honey, there only the bee will go and sit and take suck the honey. Likewise here, if you implement the honeybee algorithm for solar power tracking, then wherever the maximum power exists, there the power like that particular spot will be pinged, and it will be tracked for its maximum power optimization. Therefore, this evolutionary computational technique, it is the global optimization technique inspired by the biological evaluation. One such example you can give is your honeybee algorithm for tracking the maximum power. Next can be the dragonfly algorithm for tracking your maximum power, and also you can use a particle swarm optimization algorithm and colony optimization algorithm for better power optimization. So all these techniques are going to be the intelligent technique, and it comes under the subfield of your artificial intelligence and soft computing. When studying this algorithm and making it to implement it in the smart grid will makes the system much more smarter, and even the power optimization can also be better. So it is not a trial and error approach, so it is a stochastic optimization character. The evolutionary computational technique. So based on your natural genetics, your evolutionary computational technique will solve the combinational optimization problem. So the technique will include all the intelligent algorithm like particle swarm optimization algorithm, ant colony algorithm, genetic programming, artificial intelligence, where this will learn or adapt to a new situation that can generalize, abstract, discover, and associate. The evolutionary algorithm use a population of individual. An individual is referred to as a chromosome, which defines the characteristics of individual in the population. For example, if you take the characteristics of honeybee, honeybee is having the characteristics of sucking the honey wherever the flower is having the honey. So it will go and sit to the effective flower to suck the honey. Likewise, if you implement that honeybee algorithm for tracking your solar power, maximum power, so in a solar power, the insolation or the irradiances that is spotting onto the cells is not even. It will not be same at each and every point. Therefore, wherever the power is maximum, wherever the temperature is giving a maximum power, that particular spot will be identified by the honeybee algorithm, and it will be given at the output, so that maximum power will be obtained from the solar. It is one such examples. Therefore, all the population will not be considered. So when you are considering the evolutionary algorithm used as a population of individual, an individual will be referred to as a chromosome, which defines the characteristics of the individuals in the population. Next one, it is going to be the characteristics. So when you consider the characteristics of each individual, here we are telling like which defines the characteristics of the individual in the population, right? So the characteristics of each individual will be termed as a gene. And individual, the best survival capabilities have the best chance to reproduce. Offsprings, sometimes the offsprings will also be generated by combining the part of your parent, like it takes the uh, gene from your previous factors. So if you are considering the natural algorithm, it combines the parts of the parent, and process is referred to as a crossover. So chromosome is also matters a lot when you are implementing the algorithm. Similarly, under evolutionary algorithm, we have genetic algorithm, genetic method, uh, particle swarm optimization method. So we'll see one by one. So under evolutionary computational technique, we have a genetic algorithm. Here we have reproduction, modification. This is having a population. It is the general method that defines your genetic algorithm cycle. Why this genetic algorithm we are using in the sense, when you are going to use it in terms of computational method, computational technology, computational technique, or in any operation research, this genetic algorithm is a meta-heuristic inspired by the process of natural selection that belongs to larger class of evolutionary algorithm. Therefore, your genetic algorithm, in general, your genetic algorithm is the most commonly used algorithm, which will be giving a high quality solution for optimization and other such problems that are biologically inspired operators such as mutation, crossover, and selection. So this particular algorithm can be implemented in the smart grid wherever we need to have, wherever we are having the characteristics of biologically inspired operator. And also the evolution usually start from the population of randomly generated individuals. So when you check over here, the population will be generated from the randomly generated individuals, and the iteration process will takes place. When the iteration process is taking place with respect to the population, for each of the iteration there will be a process called a generation. So in each generation a fitness function will be identified. Once the fitness function is identified for every individual in a population, then it has to be evaluated. Once the fitness function is evaluated, then the objective function will be framed. The objective function can be either for a single objective function or multi-objective function. Once the objective function is framed, then you can go for solving the optimization problem. So the more fit individuals will be statistically selected from the current population, and each of the individual xenome will be modified by framing the fitness function, evaluating the fitness function, obtaining the objective function, then implementing it in the system so as to get the better optimized result. When you are doing so, a new candidate, a new solution will be obtained for the with the previous iteration. Like every time it will be iterated, a new value will be generated. The new value generated will depends upon the previous one. So here when you are considering a typical genetic algorithm, it requires two steps. One is your genetic representation. For example, if you are using a ant colony optimization, ant is having different characteristics, like it can move in a straight line. Suppose if the food is available here, if your food is available here, the ant is having the capability of moving like this and again coming back like this. Similarly, it goes like this. So according to the requirement, it alter its own characteristics. It can move one over the other. The ant can move. Otherwise, it can go in a straight line, or it can move like in a lump sum. Like more ants can move in a lump sum amount. So like that, you can take the characteristics of each and individual, and you can frame the algorithm. So when you are framing a typical algorithm by using a genetic condition, then a genetic representation of your solution domain is must. And also you need to find the fitness function. After finding out the fitness function, you have to evaluate the fitness function. And the first common thing what we are, GA mimics biological evaluation such that the elements in the algorithm are synonymous with the genetic system terminology. Therefore, here there is some figure that has been shown over here. If you see over here, that it is a typical GA in which your offspring are produced from a selected parents. You have a offspring that has been selected by the offspring that has been selected by the parents, and also it has been modified through crossover or mutation. Because of this, your entire function will be modified, and again it has to be evaluated to find out the nearest closest function. Therefore, they can be placed in the population to become the parent when unfit springs are discarded. They are placed in the population to become the parents when the unfit spring are discarded. The parents can be repeated until a suitable offspring or solution is created. Now, the genetic algorithm can be applied to the power system expansion, structural planning, operational planning, generation, transmission and distribution, and analysis for your VR planning for real and real-time application. So, the genetic algorithm is a random-based classical evolutionary algorithm where the randomness fitness function will be evaluated, and after that it will be processed to obtain the new objective function. And this genetic algorithm is based on Ravin's theory of evaluation, processing the optimized technique. Using this genetic algorithm, it is a gradually slow process that works by making the changes to making slight and slow changes. Like it, all of a sudden it will not change to the final value. Slowly only it will get changed, because it is just like your iteration process where your present value depends upon the previous value and the obtained real-time parameter. Next is going to be your particle swarm optimization. This is also one of your evolutionary computational technique. This particle swarm optimization is based on your stochastic optimization technique, and it was developed by Eberhard and Kennedy. So it uses a simple mechanism where the social behavior of your bird flocking and fish schooling to guide the particles searched for globally optimal solution. So it uses a simple mechanism that mimics the social behavior of your bird and fish. Individuals in particle swarm follow a very simple behavior to emulate the success of the neighboring individuals and their own successes. So individual particle swarm behavior will also be recorded, and as a whole the collective behavior will be taken into account, and that emerges to the discovery of your new optimal region with high dimensional space. So initially a simple behavior will be analyzed, and that particular behavior analysis will be taken into account so that the collective behavior will emerge to the optimized high dimensional search spaces. Therefore, the population of the study is referred to as a population of each and individual in terms of your particle. If you write the equation in terms of your velocity, you can write xi of t plus 1 is equal to xi of t plus vi of t plus 1. The velocity adjusts the particle. Here vi of t plus 1 is going to be the velocity. Here the velocity will adjust the particle based on both the particle and its neighbor with the swarm, which is again be calculated as Vij of t plus 1 is equal to Vij of t plus C1 R1j of t into Yij of t minus Xij of t plus C2 R2j of t Y vector j of t minus Xij of t. So here when you check Vij of t is nothing but Vij of t, where you are having Vij of t, it is nothing but the velocity of the particle of in I is the dimension, j is ranges from 1 to n. Here Xij of t is there, right? So it is the position of the particle in ith dimension at jth time step. And C1 C2, we have the constant C1 C2, which is nothing but the positive acceleration constant. This C1 and C2 is used to scale the contribution of the cognitive and social component. So, and the randomness of the values will range from 0 and 0, 1. So, and it is sampled from a uniform distribution. So, these are all the simple steps that we need to remember when we are going to write the algorithm. So, when you write the algorithm, we have to use this following steps. That is, first we have to initialize. So, it is the PSO algorithm flowchart. Basically, it is used to initialize your particle swarm optimization parameter and random initialization of particle position and velocity. Then we need to calculate the fitness function. Then the corresponding fitness function has to be evaluated to obtain the best solution. Then if the best solution has not been obtained, then we need to update the velocity vector. when the velocity vector is updated, its position vector will also be rearranged. Then is the required output as obtained or not, we need to check. If obtained, we have to stop it. If not, again we have to go for the next iteration. This is the simple general process that will be taking place in case of your particle swarm optimization. It is the exact flow graph where it has been made as a, when crossover and mutation are also included in the algorithm part, that time the flow chart will be explained as like this. Next, for each particle I is equal to 1 to s, we need to do the initialize the particle position, then initialize the particle's best known position, where pi is equal to, where pi is getting equated to xi, and if f of pi is less than f of g, then it is going to update the new swarm position, then velocity will also be updated. So this is going to be the general algorithm that has been explained by means of your flow chart. So if nothing has been updated, then we have to pick the random numbers between rp rg, where it will ranges from 0 to 1. You have to update the velocity, update your particle position. If the required output is not obtained, we need to go for the next iteration by updating the particle velocity and particle position. Then best position, if it is obtained, then you have to stop the evolutionary process. Next is going to be your ant colony algorithm. Ant colony algorithm, it includes the trial, evaporation and Demon's action. So it is a class which is applied to the combinational optimization problem. The essential triad of ACO algorithm is the combination of prior information about the structure of a promising solution with the posterior information. So prior information is also required, posterior information is also required in order to obtain the best solution. And also it can be structured in such a way with respect to the previously obtained output and previously obtained solution. It uses your computational concurrent and asynchronous agents, which is termed as a colony of ant, that move through the state of the problem corresponding to the particle solution. And here we can decide whether the bias is going to search the process from the non-local perspective. Ant colony algorithm, it is a simple way of explaining your ant colony algorithm. These are all some of the applications where you can implement this ant colony algorithm. It can be implemented for operators, some application areas and control parameters. In case of your application, it is a very good example for the traveling salesman problem, that is operational research. Wherever operational research problem is there, you can implement this ant colony optimization algorithm. And even for power optimization in a smart grid power system, the dynamic problem of the network, quadratic assignment problem, agent-based dynamic scheduling, digital imaging, job shop scheduling problem. So for all these applications, we can implement this ant colony optimization algorithm. So when you are implementing this ant colony algorithm, the measurement, whatever measurement we are obtaining by using this algorithm, it will involve the stochastic local decision policy. So when whatever output we are getting, it involves the stochastic local decision policy, which is based on two parameters. One is going to be your trials and other one is going to be your attractiveness. The phenomena of information, whatever we are going to obtain, will direct the search towards the future value. That is based on the present situation, based on the present value, a future value will be decided. That future value will depends upon the real-time recorded data plus the previous value. So this ACO will include trial, evaporation and Demon action. These are all some of the important techniques where you can implement it in the smart grid for attaining the better optimization technique. Thank you, students.